everyone, and welcome to part 2 of my festive treats and drinks video. Like you will have just seen, I already made my favorite drinks for this time of the year, and today I thought I'd show you some recipes which you definitely have to try. I'm going to make some chocolate cake, some Christmassy brownies, and of course some delicious gingerbread or speculoos truffles. And I'm going to start with my chocolate cake, which is going to be a cranberry chocolate Christmas mini cake, or you can of course make it in a bigger size, but I thought I'd make them small and so they will look very cute. So I'm going to start with this chocolate cake now, and what you do first is preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius, and you're going to need one of these like box shaped pans, a loaf pan or however you want to call them. And I prepared them with butter inside so that the dough won't stick too much to it. And now we're going to start with combining the ingredients. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to combine 300 grams of soft butter with 200 grams of sugar, and now you're just going to want to whisk those two nicely together until it's very well combined and looking fluffy. Okay, and once you have a nice mixture of butter and sugar, you're going to want to add 5 eggs, one at a time. And after every egg, you just combine it very nicely with the butter and sugar mixture. And once you have a nice mixture of the egg, the butter and the sugar, you just add the next one until all 5 are in the dough. Okay, now we have a nice combination of these ingredients, and the next step you're going to want to do is to combine all the dry ingredients into one bowl. So the dry ingredients are 150 grams of flour, 150 grams of ground almonds, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 pinch of salt, and 50 grams of cocoa. And now I'm just very nicely mixing that together before I combine it with the egg, sugar and butter mixture. The last ingredient that is missing for the dough is some grated chocolate. Of course, you can get whatever chocolate you like and just chop it into small bits and add that one. I just got that grated chocolate because it saves so much time and it's just as good. And the last step now before you put it in the oven is of course to fill the dough into your pan. You can of course use another shape of pan, but just be careful, because if you use another shape you're going to have to change the time it needs in the oven, and that is going to be around 50 to 60 minutes. The recipe says around 55 minutes. Mine was in the oven at least for 1 hour. And here is my cake done. It looked and smelled so good, and everything I'm going to do now is to cut off pretty thick generous slices. As you can see on the plate beside me cutting the cake, the end pieces of the cake are just put aside. Of course you can eat them afterwards, but you cannot use them for what I'm going for. Okay, and the next thing you're going to want to do is take a round shaped cookie cutter or one of these little ring shaped things you can serve something with, and you're going to want to cut out some round shapes out of the slices I cut off and place them on a nice plate, whichever you want to use. And as you can see, maybe the shaped pan I use is not exactly the perfect thing to use, but I thought the recipe I used was for a loaf pan, so I decided to just go for it so that I can easier say how much time it would need in the oven. But of course you can use whatever shape of pan you would like to use, as long as you keep the time the cake is in the oven in sight. Okay, and once you have cut out as many of these little round shapes as you need for your cakes, so make sure that you have 2 for each cake. You're going to want to add your cranberry, I don't know, marmalade, jelly, or whatever you want to use. This is actually the only thing I could get, so unfortunately that's a pretty stiff jelly, but I really wanted to use something cranberry-ish, so I decided to go for that. And of course you can make your own cranberry stuff. Go all out there to make everything from scratch. I just decided to make it easy and as quick and easy as possible, so add very generous amount of the jelly. Of course you want your cakes to be very fruity and nice, and not only totally sweet and chocolatey, and that is the perfect combination of sweet and sour. And of course, once you're done with your cranberry topping, just add the little tops of your little cakes and push it a little bit down so that everything will nicely stay together. And there you go, you have your little cranberry filled mini chocolate cakes. And last but not least, to make these cakes as perfect as possible, you're going to want to add a chocolate topping. I just melted it in this lovely old cup, and I'm going to top it onto it, and of course it can drip down the sides. That will make it even more pretty, and just add as much as you want. I have been very generous and just added as much as I had for my cakes. And guess what? Yes, the only thing missing now is some lovely decorations. I used lovely herbs and some cranberries. Of course you can add whatever you like, but I think these two together look so Christmassy, and I just thought this is the perfect combination, and I loved how they turn out. These are definitely some of the prettiest cakes ever, and they would be perfect for Christmas Eve, for your Christmas party, Christmas dinner. So lovely, actually so easy to make, but they look so fancy, and I hope that you like them. Okay, and now I'm making the next thing, and these are going to be my Christmassy brownies. So I'm going to make two different versions. I'm going to make Christmas tree brownies, Christmas tree brownies, and some Rudolph brownies. And I saw both of them on Pinterest, and I thought it's so pretty, I really have to try this way of decorating brownies on Christmas. And yes, at first you're going to need everything you're going to need for your brownies, because that's basically your base. As I've been shopping for this video yesterday, I actually bought anything you would need for brownies from scratch, but then I found this one, which is basically a brownie mix, and I decided, you know what, it's going to make this whole thing as easy and as quick as possible, and I'm going to just use this one. And yes, if you would like to see the brownie recipe I usually use, just let me know in the comments down below and I will leave a link for you. So yes, I'm going to make this one now and just make some quick and easy brownies. Step 1, make your brownies like the packaging tells you to. That means for me, melting 100 grams of butter and then putting the mixture into a bowl, adding 1 egg, 100 grams of melted butter and 125 milliliters of water. And now you're going to want to make your buttercream frosting, which is actually pretty easy. You just combine 85 grams of cream cheese with 42 grams of butter. Once that is combined, you add vanilla extract and 140 grams of icing sugar. And of course you don't want to forget your green food coloring. And once your brownie is done, you're going to want to cut it into the sizes or the shapes you're going to want to use for decorating later. So as you can see, I cut my brownie in half, and one half I'm going to cut in rectangular shapes and the other ones in little triangles so that I can make lovely trees. And now the decorating begins, and you can see everything I'm doing. First I'm doing my little Rudolphs, and I'm using little salty pretzels and M&Ms for the noses, and later on of course I'm using my green buttercream frosting to decorate my trees, and also just all the decorations you can get to have nice baubles and stars on your trees. And you can do whatever you want to when decorating these, so have fun and enjoy decorating your brownies. Okay everybody, and now I'm going to make my last recipe for today, which is going to be a nice speculoos biscuit, white chocolate, truffle kind of thing. And I told you everything about these cookies, these biscuits already in the drinks part, so you know what these are. You can very easily also use kind of a ginger nuts or gingerbread, kind of something like that. And yes, these little truffles would also make a very nice gift for somebody on Christmas, and I might even give them to someone. So yes, let's make some truffles. Well, first you have to prepare your little biscuits. Now, if you don't have a NutriBullet mixer kind of thing, this is the way to go. Just put all your biscuits, that would be 175 grams, in a freezer bag, and just make as small crumbles as possible. And afterwards you're going to want to combine your little breadcrumbs kind of the speculoos cookies with 100 grams of cream cheese. Just make sure that you don't use too much. I would rather start with a little bit too less cream cheese than with too much, because you don't want your mixture to be too liquidy later on. And the next step is to form little balls. Mine are about bite-sized, maybe a little bigger, so that you can choose whether you want to eat them all in one or to bite pieces off of it. And then put them on a baking sheet and set them aside. And the fun part begins. Melting 100 grams of white chocolate, and afterwards I'm going to put that in a freezer bag, and you cut off one of the edges, and that way you can very easily drizzle your little truffles with the white chocolate. And afterwards you just decorate them in the way you want to. I used a little bit of darker chocolate to drizzle them, a few sprinkles, and there they are, looking so pretty. Perfect little gifts for Christmas. Okay guys, so these have been all my festive treats. I love them all, they all look so amazing, and I think there's something for every situation around the holidays. These little Christmas cranberry and chocolate cakes would be amazing if you have your family over, or for Christmas Eve for a very fancy occasion. The brownies are for whatever you ever do, because they are so funny, they're so pretty. Unfortunately, they did not work out the way I did want them to, like you have probably seen, because the frosting for the Christmas trees was way too liquidy, and I could not leave it any longer in the freezer or the fridge. So unfortunately that's not perfect, but I think they're still very pretty and lovely. And the little truffles would be amazing Christmas gift actually. I hope very much that you liked this little video. I did, my drinks and my treats. So let me know, like always, if you recreate them and if they turn out a lot better for you than they did for me. And yes, send me pictures, link me in your pictures on social media. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and it would be so nice if you would subscribe to my channel, because unfortunately a few of you left me and now I'm down a little bit in subscribers. I don't know why, but I hope that you who are new to my channel maybe at the moment would subscribe to my channel too. Let me know that you like my videos. So thank you so much for watching this video. Have a wonderful pre-Christmas time, and I will see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.